Hello fellow gardeners, and welcome back to the Humus Heritage. If you're watching those gorgeous autumn leaves pile up in your yard, resist the urge to stuff them into bags destined for the landfill. What if I told you that those leaves you're treating as trash are actually the most valuable resource your garden will see all year? I'm about to share a remarkably simple 3-step process that transforms those discarded leaves into nutrient-dense soil, capable of revitalizing every plant in your garden, all without spending a single dollar on commercial amendments. If you're watching those gorgeous autumn leaves pile up in your yard, resist the urge to stuff them into bags destined for the landfill. What if I told you that those leaves you're treating as trash are actually the most valuable resource your garden will see all year? I'm about to share a remarkably simple 3-step process that transforms those discarded leaves into nutrient-dense soil capable of revitalizing every plant in your garden, all without spending a single dollar on commercial amendments. Every fall, millions of gardeners commit the same costly mistake. We rake, we bag, and we send perfectly good organic matter to the curb, then turn around and purchase expensive soil amendments and mulch from garden centers. This cycle makes absolutely no sense when you understand what those leaves actually represent. Each autumn leaf is a concentrated package of nutrients that the tree pulled from deep in the soil throughout the growing season. When leaves fall naturally in forests, they create the richest, most biologically active soil on Earth. Yet in our gardens, we've somehow convinced ourselves they're nothing but yard waste. The consequences of this misconception show up in our gardens every growing season: depleted soil that grows harder and more compacted each year, plants that struggle despite our best efforts with synthetic fertilizers, garden beds that dry out quickly and require constant watering. These problems stem directly from removing the very material that nature designed to rebuild and protect the soil. Those leaves contain carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and countless micronutrients, all waiting to feed the soil food web that makes plants thrive. The transformation begins with a simple but crucial first step: shredding those leaves into smaller pieces. When leaves remain whole, they mat together and create a water-resistant barrier that actually slows decomposition and can smother plants. Shredded leaves, however, break down exponentially faster because you've increased their surface area and made them accessible to the decomposing organisms that will transform them into rich humus. The process is straightforward and requires equipment you likely already own. Wait for a dry day when your leaves are crisp and brittle. Spread them across your lawn in a layer roughly 6 inches deep, then run your mulching mower over them several times. The mulching blade will chop those leaves into confetti-sized pieces that are perfect for rapid decomposition. If you don't have a mulching mower, a standard mower with a bag attachment works too. Just make multiple passes. For those with large quantities of leaves, a dedicated leaf shredder saves time. But honestly, the mower method works brilliantly and serves double duty by giving your lawn a nitrogen boost from the finest particles that filter down to the grass. The second step involves strategic layering, and this is where you begin to see immediate garden transformation. Take those freshly shredded leaves and spread them directly onto your garden beds in a layer approximately 2 inches deep. This thickness provides enough material to suppress weeds and retain moisture without creating an impenetrable barrier. For vegetable gardens that you're putting to bed for winter, you can go heavier, applying up to 4 inches of shredded leaves that will break down significantly by spring planting time. If you're working with perennial beds or around established shrubs and trees, just spread the shredded leaves around the base of the plants, but make sure to keep the material a few inches away from stems and trunks to prevent moisture-related issues. For those who like to work leaves directly into the soil, fall is really the perfect time to till about 2 to 6 inches of shredded leaves into empty garden beds. The freeze-thaw cycles of winter will help break down all that organic matter. And by spring, you'll be planting into incredibly rich, friable soil. Another great approach is to mix shredded leaves with existing soil in about a 50-50 ratio when you're filling new planting holes. This gives your transplants an immediate boost of organic matter. The third and final step is deceptively simple, but honestly, absolutely critical: watering. Once you've applied your shredded leaf layer, give it a thorough soaking with a garden hose or sprinkler. Moisture activates the entire decomposition process by creating the ideal environment for bacteria, fungi, and countless other decomposing organisms to begin their work. These beneficial microbes need water to function, and they're basically the workforce that will transform those carbon-rich leaves into stable humus that improves your soil structure for years to come. Throughout the fall and winter, nature usually provides enough rainfall to keep the decomposition process moving along, but in dry climates or during extended dry spells, occasional watering really helps maintain progress. As the leaves break down, you'll start to notice something pretty remarkable happening beneath that mulch layer. The soil becomes darker, softer, and almost spongy to the touch. Earthworms appear in astonishing numbers, drawn in by the abundance of organic matter and the improved moisture retention. These earthworms become your garden's unpaid labor force, pulling leaf material deeper into the soil and creating channels that improve drainage and root penetration. The benefits extend far beyond improved soil texture. That leaf mulch layer becomes a living barrier against weeds, blocking light from weed seeds while creating conditions that favor your desired plants. Water retention improves dramatically because the organic matter acts like a sponge, absorbing rainfall and irrigation water, then releasing it slowly to plant roots. During summer's heat, soil temperatures stay cooler under that protective layer, reducing plant stress and extending the productive season for many crops. The environmental implications of keeping leaves in your landscape rather than sending them to landfills are genuinely significant. When organic matter decomposes in oxygen-free landfill conditions, it produces methane, a greenhouse gas far more potent than carbon dioxide. By composting leaves in place, you're participating in the natural carbon cycle exactly as nature intended. You're also breaking free from dependence on synthetic fertilizers, which require enormous amounts of energy to manufacture and often damage soil biology with repeated use. The financial benefits compound year after year. A typical suburban property generates several $100s worth of leaf mulch annually when you consider the retail cost of bagged compost, mulch, and soil amendments. Over a decade of gardening, we're talking about thousands of dollars that stay in your pocket simply by working with nature instead of against it. Even better, this approach becomes increasingly effective as years pass. Each season's leaf application builds on the last, creating deeper topsoil and establishing robust populations of beneficial organisms that make your garden more resilient and productive with each passing year. This fall, I challenge you to keep every single leaf that lands on your property and put them to work rebuilding your soil. Start small if you need to, perhaps with just one garden bed, and observe the remarkable difference by next growing season. Document your results with photos, and share your experience in the comments, because this community thrives when we learn from each other's successes and challenges. If you found this guide valuable and want to continue building your regenerative gardening knowledge, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss future content. We'll be exploring specific plants that absolutely thrive with leaf mulch, advanced composting techniques for maximizing nutrient retention, and strategies for building permanent food forests using these same principles. Share this guide with fellow gardeners who are still sending their leaves to the landfill, because together, we can transform not just our individual gardens, but our entire approach to sustainable food production. Let's grow something amazing together.